Welcome to Bits and Pieces Quilting. Today we are going to talk about sustainability, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Michelle, and today I want to talk a little bit about sustainability and where we buy and source all of our fabrics. This is a really complicated subject, and I don't even want to try to claim to be any kind of expert at all. But I will say for myself, I have been trying over the last year or so to be more deliberate about what I purchase and where I purchase it from. So a lot of the big name fabric companies, they source their fabrics and they print their fabrics in Japan and Korea, which have some fairly robust labor laws and environmental laws. So you can be fairly certain that there's a certain element of at least environmental responsibility and human rights respect from fabrics that are printed and produced in those countries. Other fabrics, however, are a whole other ball game, and it's almost impossible to find relevant information so that we can judge and make an assessment for ourselves. And then there's the question of new versus used, or new versus upcycled or recycled or reused. And that's the piece in particular that I want to talk a little bit about today. I have, quite honestly, recently discovered my thrift store. I'd not really been. I've been inspired by Kathy Martin from the Catbird Quilts. If you know Kathy, she uses men's dress shirts and the 100% cotton, 100% linen from those shirts to make quilts, which is, I think, a brilliant idea. And we've done a little bit on this channel with the denim quilt that I made with the Daisy and Grace templates and the denim hexies, and those were Jason's jeans. And I've also cut up some of Jason's dress shirts and used those. Some of the pieces made it into my scrappy pineapple blocks. But I've recently discovered my thrift store here in the neighborhood, and it's a bit of a treasure trove. So I've been about 2 or 3 times now. I've videoed my first haul, and I'll put that video into here so you can see that. And then I've taken a few little clips of me at the thrift store going through the racks. So I'll narrate you through that and show you the haul that I came up with from there. And then I want to share with you a website that talks about where you can get upcycled, recycled, dead stock fabrics in your community. And normally these are very US focused. So for all my US viewers, I think you're probably going to be all set. But for me, they actually identified a place here in Ottawa where I live called Ecoequitable. And a few weeks ago, Jason and I went there on a Friday afternoon to take a look at what they had. And I will be back. So I'll show you the haul from that experience as well. And then we'll come back and talk about how some of these pieces have been used in my quilting over the last few weeks and some final thoughts. So let's dive in. This is my thrift store haul, and I'm really excited about it. This is a new venture for me, but with all of the news and all of the materials that I'm seeing about the amount of fabric that goes into landfill and the idea of being able to reuse things, I'm really keen to explore this. So the first thing I bought was this white bath towel. It looks brand new to me. It seriously looks brand new. It's 100% cotton. The tag is still on it. And the tag from the thrift store, what did I pay for it? $6.99. Could I have bought something similar at a local discount department store? Maybe, probably for a similar price. But if thrift stores rotate their stock the way that I've heard that they do, maybe we've saved that from land. Although a beautiful white towel, it probably would have been picked up by someone. But I'm going to use that and I'm going to make makeup wipes from it. Next, I picked up this bed sheet, and you know how you shop with your hands and it just feels like great quality, and it doesn't look like it's worn at all. And there's a bit of a darker piece here at the top. It's 100% cotton, and I think this was 6.50, so Canadian as well. So lots and lots of fabric there. Is that the tag? Yeah. What does it say? Yeah, 6.50. Then I bought this one, also a double or a twin bed sheet. Again, it feels like it's really good quality. It feels like it hasn't been used very much. I think that's going to make a great backing for a quilt. This was the one that piqued my interest right off the start. It's this really beautiful light gray color. Again, 100% cotton, 6.50 at the thrift store, and I think this is going to make a great background. I recently bought some of the patterns from Verushka from Pride and Joy Quilting with her Polaroid snapshot. Have you seen those? They're fabulous. And I think these might make really good backgrounds for those Polaroid paper piece projects. Then I have these. These are both identical. You can tell they've got the same topping to them. These are so thick. These actually feel better than the vast majority of the white background fabric that I buy and I use. It is so beautiful. And again, these sheets were 6.50 each. So super keen to get these washed up and cut and start to experiment with them. And then finally, I bought this piece of white flannel. Again, it feels actually way better than some of the stuff that I buy at fabric stores. And 6.50 again, I think, 100% cotton. It's going to make a great backing for a quilt, I think. So I'm going to wash all of these, cut the price tags off, and get them into my collection to use. So let's talk about where I've used this thrifted fabric. I'll start first with the white. So I have these little baby quilts, which I used the white from those bed sheets for the sashing. And then I've used almost all of the white. It was really fabulous to work from. I made a whole bunch of these interwoven quilts. I've got some videos on those. So the two blue and white ones, and then I resized it, the interwoven quilt, into a different size, and I used the white as the background again, and then I made a few baby sized. So lots and lots of the white went into these interwoven quilts. Also used a little bit of the white for the pixie sticks quilt, as well as the mini and the skinny mathemagical quilts. So all these videos are available on my channel if you want to see the quilts themselves, but all of the white in all of these quilts is all thrifted fabric from those bed sheets. I've also used the light blue, the light gray bed sheet, and I used that in these two quilts. One was the gosh, what were they called? The 4-patch, 9-patch. I'll have to look up the names and I'll put them here. I've done videos on both of these as well. These were made for Victoria's Quilts with a stack of fat quarters from my friend Sue. And I couldn't find a neutral that, well, I didn't have enough of any kind of neutral that went really well with these. And I thought the light gray looked beautiful in these quilts. I've started to use them for some other things, and those videos will be coming up later on because you may have seen I'm down one sewing machine at the moment, but a decision's been made. So that video is going to come along soon, and then I've got a whole lot of catching up to do, but that's the exciting news. Let's move on to my second thrift store haul. So this is me looking through the racks at my local thrift store, and I loved this navy blue. It looked super promising. Unfortunately, spoiler alert, I did buy it, I did bring it home, and it turned out to be not 100% cotton. And you know how you can tell if it doesn't have a label like this pink one does? The pink one has some polyester in it, so nope, not going to buy it. But the blue one, I was so optimistic. So I brought it home, I washed it, and then I put an iron on it. And as soon as you put an iron on it, you can tell for sure just the smell of the polyester. But look at this red. This, spoiler alert, 100% cotton. It came home with me. It's a beautiful fabric. I've already used pieces of it in an upcoming project, which you will see. And then I found this. It's a duvet cover. That means it's double-sided. It's 100% cotton. It's fabulous quality, and I can't wait to use it. So let me show you what else I got at the thrift store. So you can see the blue duvet cover and the red peeking out here, but I also got, and these are a little boring, but I also got another white bed sheet. I've already washed it, so the tags came off. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for it, but like you saw earlier, $6.50 or $7 or so. And then sort of another kind of boring beige, but these are going to be great as background fabrics. This is that duvet cover we talked about. I'm so excited. These are almost like little fat quarters, or charm square, not charm squares. What are the layer cake squares? So that's going to be super fun to cut up and use as a project. The red that you saw, I've already cut off a piece and used that. And then I actually found this as just a piece of fabric. It's a piece of batik. I think I paid less than $5 for it. It's probably a meter of fabric, and it's a lovely batik. So an exciting second haul, thrift store haul. I haven't used, other than the red, I haven't used it yet, but I'll be sure to point out where I use my thrift store fabric in future videos. And finally, let me tell you about my experience at Ecoequitable. It it was so much fun. It's a lovely little shop, not maybe as organized, so you do feel like it's maybe a bit of a treasure search. They have done their best to organize things a little bit, but this is the shop. There's a couple of other spaces in there as well. They also sell threads and other sewing notions that have been donated. But let me show you what I got. So the total for everything I'm going to show you was $76. I started with the basket, and you could fill a basket for $20, and that's what I got. All of this really large piece of yellow flannel, probably going to be a backing for something. I'm a sucker for a lime green, so I don't know if that's going to make it into a backing or if that's going to make it into a kid's quilt. These two little duckies are also flannel, so maybe the three of them together might become some kind of a kid's quilt, but we'll see. This is just a neutral kind of light pink cotton, quite plain. I love a stripe. I love a stripe for binding, and that's what these two pieces are, 100% cotton. And all of that was $20. And then when it's not in the grab bins, they also sell other things. So I bought these pieces. So if the bin was about $20, this must have been then in that $50 range plus taxes and things. So that's where the $76 came from. I bought this blue, and I don't know if you can see the sharp edge here. I've already used some of it. I used some of it in my lion, my Pride and Joy quilting lion. I needed another blue, so I cut into that. I found this really cute dinosaur fabric, which I just had to have. A really beautiful blue batik. There's probably a meter of that here. Then I got this gorgeous blue. Look at how beautiful this is. The shop assistant at the shop, she was wonderful. We couldn't tell for sure if it was 100% cotton, so we actually took a little piece of it outside, and with some matches she burned it, because that's how she's able to tell if it's all natural fibers. So this is definitely cotton. And then I bought this beautiful white fabric as well, just a solid white. Again, we took a little piece of it outside and burned it. I had another piece of fabric that was white that I thought was really beautiful, but when we took it outside, and burned a tip of it, it melted, so you could tell it was polyester. So these are my pieces from Ecoequitable. Absolutely going to go back. One of the things that I didn't buy that I've been thinking far too much about were the shirting cottons that they had there. So Kathy Martin cuts hers up out of real shirts, but this is the shirting fabric that's not yet even been made into shirts yet. And keep in mind, all of this was donated, and all of the funds raised through the sale of these fabrics go into community programs at Ecoequitable. So a really great experience, and I will definitely be back. Thank you so much for watching this video on sustainable fabrics and sourcing fabrics. Have you tried any of these strategies? Have you used any dead stock, any upcycled, recycled fabrics? Do you go to your thrift store? Do you cut up people's dress shirts and blue jeans? I'm really interested in your thoughts on this. I think there's a lot more we can do as quilters. The history of quilting is all about repurposing fabrics to keep the family warm and comfortable. So I'm really interested in exploring this a little bit more, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment down below so you can share it with all of us. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to make the most of your fabric bits and pieces.